This is all possible thanks to a special property of the brain called plasticity. It's best illustrated through a remarkable story. Meet Cameron Mott. In this home movie, she's 4 years old.
Girl.
One day, Cameron suddenly started having seizures.
The really big issue was that Cameron's seizures were drop seizures where she would fall down to the floor very quickly, and they were very aggressive. Cameron, whoopsie.
She was diagnosed with Rasmussen syndrome, an inflammatory disease that attacks the brain. It causes paralysis and ultimately death. To save Cameron's life, her physicians proposed a radical solution. They would remove the diseased part of her brain.
The procedure itself is probably the most drastic surgical procedure that can be done in neurosurgery. You know, it's not a simple operation. There are on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being one of the more difficult operations that we would typically perform in neurosurgery, I'd say it's a 10.
Seeing no other option, Cameron's parents consented.
The real risk in the surgery is not what happens if we do the surgery. The question is what happens to this person if we don't do the surgery.
The issue was that an entire half of Cameron's brain had been affected.
Our biggest concern was, would she survive? Would there be some complication? Would we go through all of this and then still have seizures at the end?
This is Cameron's preoperative scan. This is the material that underpins her intellect and her emotion and her sense of humor, who she is. In this scan, the empty space is where half of her brain has been removed.
No one could be sure how the loss of that much brain tissue would affect Cameron. What would she lose? Could she be like other children? This is Cameron, 7 years on. She's seizure-free. And more importantly, beyond a slight weakness on one side, she betrays no sign of the ordeal that she went through.
I like to run a lot and do different types of stuff outside. I love math. Give me 3 quizzes to do and I'll do it.
Okay, let it go.
We used to think of the brain as a fixed system with different parts dedicated to specific jobs, like seeing or deciding or moving. But no region works in isolation. The brain is a vast, dynamic, interconnected network that's always changing. Instead of hardwired, I like to think of the brain as live-wired. And that flexibility of the brain opens up new possibilities for our future.